Hey now. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back to this channel. So, apologies for being mad late. I was supposed to do this video, this Taurus season introduction, like the first day of Taurus, or like the day after Taurus season started, like 2 days in, But it's okay. We here. My life has been busy. I've been busy. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, before we start the video, guys, remember to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and go to my IG and go follow that, because I'm also very active on my Instagram and my TikTok as well. Also, for all the yoga lovers and the meditation lovers, I have a yoga channel, a yoga YouTube, so go follow that, subscribe to that, and come get zen with me, especially during Taurus season, where the eclipse and retrograde and Pluto are all just, and the nodes also just shifting. Like, there's just so many changes happening during the season that requires the least amount of change. It's crazy, but I don't know how it's been for you guys. For me, it's been really good. I've had, like, this retrograde is the best so far. This is a really good eclipse retrograde. And mind you, the eclipse and the retrograde are all happening in the sign of Taurus. There's just like a lot of Taurus Venusian vibes right now, and it's all in my 4th house. I don't know. Actually, I do. But anyway, it's not about me right now. Okay. But yeah, as I said, go check those pages out. And yeah. Also, guys, my channel is growing like mad crazy right now. I just want to thank you guys for fucking with me as much as I fuck with astrology. I really, really, really appreciate it so much. Actually, let's drink to that. I'm gonna drink to that. Cheers to like 1.2 followers. This is to you guys. This is water with pineapple and rosemary and lemon inside of it. It's so delicious. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, let's get this video started. So, what's been happening? So, we went into Taurus season with an eclipse. The solar eclipse that happened, right? I think it was on the 29th. Then, no, was it? On the 20th, my bad. On the 20th, 420. Which if you smoked, I hope you had a really good 420. I had a really, really, really good 420. It was so, I bought crystals, I bought weed, I went shopping and bought crystals. But that's what happened. Like, just so you know the order of what happened. And it was just so calm and peaceful. I hope you had a great 420. Comment below what you did for 420. Yeah, and then I did yoga. It was so calm. And then, yeah, anyway, 420, I'm getting so sidetracked. But 420, that's when the eclipse started, right? The solar eclipse that happened in Aries, right? Because it was the sun and moon in Aries, and then the day after, Taurus season began. And then it was a new moon in Taurus for Taurus season. So the sun was in Taurus and the moon was in Taurus, and then the eclipse just shifted in that way. So I think that time it was just like, because look, like the nodes and the eclipses are all about like the nodes shifting, And if you know about the nodes, like nodes are really just about like your destiny and your life's path, or what you're going to be looking forward to learning that particular year, because the eclipses are about like a year and a half long, or just a little over a year, let me say that, right? So with the eclipse changing, the nodes changing, it's like it can be stressful, because you also, like right now, right, they're in Taurus and Scorpio, right? So you have to look at the houses that Taurus and Scorpio are in, because that's the area of life that we're mostly looking at. Like it's kind of like what we're living for. So for me, it was in my 4th house and my 10th house. So from last year in Jan, that's when the eclipses changed. Not the eclipses, the nodes moved from what was it, Gemini and Sagittarius, I think. Yeah, Gemini and Sagittarius, and then they moved to Taurus and Scorpio. So that whole year, last year, like leading up to now, these few months left, you know. It's really just about, like, for me, as I was saying, it was like me paying attention to my family and my career. I think this is like that. Last year was the time I took my shit, like my astrology page, a lot more seriously, because it's my 10th house, you know. And just being more aware, like, because okay, the North Node is in Taurus, so we're leading our lives in a way to be more aware of how to build physical comfort for ourselves, right? Taurus vibes, security. How do we have things or build structure in our lives in order to make our lives feel more comfortable, you know? So that's the node, that's the path we were on. And then the south node is about the energy that we feel comfortable in, but we need to learn to let go and lean more into the north node. So this whole time we were learning to let go of how to be more we're letting go of being more pessimistic, letting go of getting things in a more secretive way, you know, letting go of even addictions as well, letting go or recognizing these things, you know. It doesn't have to be letting go, because I know for a fact, like, it's really hard to let go, especially because the nodes are in fixed signs, you know. But maybe even just recognizing it, and then maybe doing it less, or just recognizing it and what's the word for when you replace one habit for another, you know. So the node was in Scorpio, so learning to release more scorpionic things, you know, leaning on other people for security, leaning on inheritance, you know, because 8th house is all about what you inherit from your family members, when people die and your family members, or when a relationship dies, what happens, you know, letting go of that. So for a lot of us, like, we're probably losing a lot of emotional connections that we had with people that we thought that, you know, we're gonna last forever, even like family members kind of thing, you know. And just learning to build foundations and security for yourself, because Taurus is like, it's ruled by the 2nd house, and from the 1st house and the 6th house, those are houses for personal development, and then the 7th house to the 12th house, those are houses for how you relate and how you grow with other people, you know. So we can even say Taurus is all about, like, Taurus, the sign and its characteristics, all about how you can do that for yourself. How can you build stability for yourself? How can you, like, the things that you have, like right now I have this couch and this is comfortable for me, you know what I'm saying? So just recognizing things that you have, and also learning to be grateful, because I'm not gonna lie, like, this whole time I think this Taurus North Node eclipse thing, and also mind you that Uranus was there too, so our security, how we gain security for ourselves, was changing suddenly, you know. And it's also uncomfortable because Taurus likes to have things the same, you know, and Uranus just brings unpredictability. So there may have been a lot of unpredictable shifts in the way that we gained security and gained personal comfort for ourselves, you know, and even building a self-esteem. Like, it may have changed for the better or for the worse, depending on who you are and how you utilize it in this energy, and also the house that it's in, because for some of you, you might have Taurus in your 8th house and Scorpio in your 2nd house, so that changes things, because now you're supposed to value those dark things. And maybe even for you, it could have been a thing, you're supposed to value the hard times, you know, because those hard times really made you build, like, emotional security for yourself, so that you can handle things in a better way for yourselves, you know. Obviously, like, it's your life, you know what's happening, you know, you're the only one that can put 2 and 2 together, you know. But now that the nodes are shifting to Aries and Libra, it's like they're shifting to another house, so we're gonna have to be paying attention and trying to learn and value a new way of leading our lives, because the nodes are changing to cardinal signs. So now it's the 1st house and the 7th house. So the 1st house is about your personality and the relationship that you have with yourself and how you express yourself and everything that you relate to yourself. And then Libra is all about the opposite, how you relate yourself to other people and the relationships that you have, and like how you can share your resources with people, you know, your interpersonal partnerships or business partnerships, you know. So they're shifting to that area of your life. So it's not going to be about what you value and things that you crave, aka Taurus and Scorpio. Now it's about how you express yourself and how you share yourself with people, and how you allow other people to relate themselves to you, you know. So depending on the house that you have this shit in, you're going to be paying attention to that, you know, like trying to lead a life in according to that. Relationships and the relationship that you have with yourself, you know. And then also, that's what's happening right now. That's what happened. Okay, that's what's happening. First thing. Second thing is Pluto in Aquarius. So today's the 1st of May, ne? 1st of May, Pluto is retrograding back into Capricorn. So it's going to be doing this like back and forth shit until it finally decides to stay in Aquarius, which will be only like next year, end of next year, like towards November, December vibes. So we still have like the rest of this year and then next year also to like go back and forth between Pluto being in Aquarius and Capricorn. So also during this time, and mind you, like Pluto is such a harsh planet because it brings like, I guess it's not sudden like Uranus, but it does bring, I guess it could be sudden. I'm not gonna lie, Pluto transformations, I guess, Pluto just makes you, Pluto reminds you that nothing is permanent, whereas Uranus just reminds you that everything is gonna change. And then Pluto reminds you that nothing is permanent. They're doing the same thing, but I think Uranus is kind of more sociable with it because it's doing it to everybody. Like everybody is gonna have like unexpected changes in their lives, different times, but everybody's gonna have it. Pluto, the same thing, but Pluto is just more depressing with its transformation than its changes because it's like, I think with Uranus, like, it's something will change, but you might not really care about what's changing. Like you might not like, because also Uranus is about like your acquaintances and partnerships and being places, like visiting a place. So you might be friends with a new group of people, but it's also kind of superficial. So it could just be like a business thing. So even if you change, like you suddenly change a job or you suddenly change groups, it doesn't affect you as much because it's just like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Uranus change. But Pluto kind of changes, like you were really attached to that and it got taken away from you. And now you're like scarred, and now you need to learn to live without that, even though you're feeling that empty, or like you're feeling that, let's call it emptiness. You're feeling like you missed that shit, like even a friend, or you lost a friend, you lost the relationship that you had with something or someone, and then Pluto just teaches you that like nothing is permanent. So at the end of the day, you need to be okay with that. Excuse me. But also, like, I think Pluto also teaches people to be like not to depend on everybody or anyone. Just depend on yourself. Be powerful because you decide that you're powerful. Don't give your power to things and people because once again they're going to be taken away from you. And I think that's kind of fucked up with Pluto, but that's what I'm saying. Pluto's like such a harsh planet for that reason, but it's also positive because we need changes. I guess, I don't know, maybe that's just life, guys. I don't know what to tell you. That's just life. Like things come and go, we lose things, we lose people. Even just thinking about like family members and friends and stuff, like, because you really build an emotional attachment to those things and people, and when they die, like Pluto does that, death and transformation, it's done. That connection is over and they just live on in your heart, but you feel like you can feel their absence as well, but yeah, such is life, but with Pluto being in Aquarius and moving to like back and forth, moving from Aquarius to Capricorn and then back to Aquarius and then back to Capricorn and then finally to Aquarius next year. And mind you, Aquarius and Capricorn are both Saturn ruled, right? So a lot of Saturn really governs. It's all about the government. Like when I think of Saturn, I think of authority figures, but the government as well. And Pluto, because Pluto is all about secrecy, I'm just thinking like, and also mind you, like Aquarius specifically is all about groups of people, like the collective. And I think with Pluto being in Aquarius, I was thinking like, I think there are going to be so many. I've been watching movies about cults. Like I would just watch Midsummer now, and then I watched The Wicker Man, right? And it just kind of made me think of like the themes of how this could transpire with like Pluto and Aquarius, like power and control. in groups, power and control issues that happen in groups, and how the masses influence other masses of people, and how the masses influence how other masses live. So I just thought of like the government, and governments that we have, and there's going to be a lot of transformations and power struggles with us people, that like us normal people versus the government. It already started with COVID, and that was a while ago, but I think we all know, like, I think we're all just in this phase of preparing, or just kind of like being like, whatever happens is gonna happen. But I think everybody should just expect to witness, like, just know that it's gonna happen. Like, a lot of hectic shit is gonna happen, and we're gonna be forced as a community of humans to live in a specific way, but then also in return, I think we're gonna fight back, but also because Aquarius is all about technology and scientists. That's gonna transform too. At school, right, we have online classes, and there's this specific teacher who was telling me about, we had like a lecture, and he was telling me about the AI, and he was going deep with like how the AI is just gonna take over, robots are gonna take over, and they're also going to want to be perceived as humans just like us, even though they can't necessarily procreate like humans do, but they can eventually learn. As a robot, they'll learn how to make other robots, and then that'll be their way of procreating. So shit like that is, I think we should all expect like iRobot with Will Smith kind of shit. I'm really scared though, or like Black Mirror kind of shit, like that one episode where they had like robotic dogs that killed all the humans because humans were so destructive and stuff. Then they're gonna imitate us as well, and they're gonna be like destroying us too. But also, I think with the rise of technology, and like us abusing resources, like we all know, I think, okay, I don't necessarily know, like I'm not a scientist and I'm also not a researcher, so I don't really know how much damage there is outside of me being told that the earth is fucked up. Because when I go to mountains, when I go to like Lesotho and Mpumalanga in South Africa, like the agriculture there is fine, it's pretty okay. So I think maybe it's just the place that they are exploiting. Also air pollution as well. So there's just a whole bunch of things, but where I'm at, all I'm saying is like my experience right now is everything is okay. Like I'm not seeing trees decay yet. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not seeing grass decay. I don't, like, the sky is still clear. I don't see fog as of yet. But I think with the rise of technology and us abusing resources, and also electricity, especially in South Africa, goddamn, I think in South Africa, like, load shedding is still going to be around for a minute. But I think eventually we're gonna evolve, and we're gonna transform the way that we use power. I think because I think now in South Africa we're all using solar panels. We're all going to use solar panels, or otherwise we're gonna have to go back, get a stove, a wooden stove kind of thing, get some coal, and then do things old fashioned. I don't know. Or like, I don't know, using like, I think we might even go into like, just like what's this not element, I think we're gonna go into using more natural resources. So like even using wind panels, solar panels, water pipe thingies to generate electricity. I don't know, but you know what, science is gonna develop, and things are gonna pop, things are gonna like upgrade, technology is gonna upgrade even more. We already have iPhones, and like back in the 19 somethings, these people predicted that eventually people would have small phones that they would be able to put in their pockets, and we do. So I think it's gonna be kind of weird. Personally, I think with Pluto being an Aquarius, just technology is definitely gonna be big, and I think obviously we're gonna implement a lot more technology, which is gonna make us a lot more lazy, because mind you, Aquarius is in conjuncting the 6th house of Virgo, of daily routines and work, and it's also in conjuncting the 4th house of Cancer, of family and home. So I think a lot of the technologies that are going to be booming are going to keep us isolated, also because Aquarius is like a dissociative, isolated sign. So I think a lot of the technology that's going to be birthed is going to force us again, or I guess put us in a position that we have to stay at home and be isolated, or maybe even detach us more from our family members also. Or maybe these are just like, this is me just predicting things, I don't know, I'm just thinking, but also I feel like maybe there could be like a situation where like there'll be so much technology that there'll be like you can put on glasses and you can travel wherever. You can be in Hawaii if you put on these specific glasses, that kind of thing. Like you won't even have to actually physically leave your home to travel and stuff. You can just travel by technology, and by like not AI, but like advanced technology, you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing. I think there's going to be more apps to connect with other people. So now we have TikTok, we had Instagram, there's YouTube, but I think there's going to be more apps that somehow connect us all in a deeper way, which is going to make us so much more addicted to technology. And also, speaking of addiction, because I think Pluto, okay, I want to say Pluto does rule over addictions, but I think Pluto maybe will rule over how your addiction will ruin your life. Because if you think about when Pluto was in Capricorn, like the time that Pluto was in Capricorn, we were all obsessed with being famous, right? Because Capricorn is all about your public reputation, your career and stuff. But and like all of us were being super obsessed with like having a business and like just being known by the public. But I think now, because Pluto is going to be in Aquarius, it's going to be so much more, and it is already now, like it's so much easier to be famous, and it's so much easier to connect with the masses, because that's really what being famous is just being known by a lot of people, like being so popular that everybody knows you and they follow you and they take your opinion seriously, like more serious than they take their own, but I think with Pluto being in Aquarius, it's going to be so much more easier now to do that. But I think now, like the cool thing, because I think what was cool before was being like an actor and, a performer, something of the arts. But I think now, yes, that's like, listen, art is always going to be a thing. And that's something that robots will not have. That's better than us. Like they don't have the creativity that a human will have, right? So that's always going to be there. But I also think like, now to be famous, you're gonna have to invent something, dude. You're gonna have to be someone, like if you want to be that famous and be like super rich, you're gonna be someone that has to invent something like monumental, like I don't know, like a spaceship. Like you're gonna have to really go big to be that famous, or even astrology wise, because that's occult vibes, occulty vibes. I think there's gonna be a rise in cults. I'm not gonna lie, there's gonna be I don't know why. Cults has just been in my head, but I think there's going to be a rise in cults. People initiating their own cults, their own little group, their own little private society with other people that they have similar ideas with, yeah, maybe even internet kind of things. I don't know, but it's going to be crazy. I think it's really going to be crazy. But depending on the house that it's in for you, also it's going to influence you personally. So if you have Pluto moving into Aquarius in your first house, like me, Aquarius rising, we are already physically changing. And then as Aquarius rising, you probably already have like a unique look about you. Probably look detached and stuff. But I also, because as an Aquarius rising, your personality is usually catered to relating with a lot of people, which is why you're also like not detached. It's like you're for everybody but for no one at the same time. And I don't mean that in like a horror kind of way. I mean that in like a way that you can relate to literally anybody. Like everyone, like you view everybody the same, so you treat everyone the same. So no matter who you come across with, you just kind of like, they're like, okay, whatever, I think with Pluto moving into our first house, yes, we're going to be transforming physically, our appearance, which happens naturally because you're in Aquarius, right? Especially if you're like me and you have Uranus in the first house as well. Like your face changes all the time. Well, not all the time, but like usually. I think now with Pluto also being in there too, I feel like it's just gonna bring more instability in our lives right now. I think for the next 20 years, just prepare to be personally, like, just prepare for things in your life to change suddenly. Also prepare for people to project a lot onto you, because I've seen people naturally, like people who were born with Pluto in the first house, they people around them just project whatever, and they usually get into arguments. I've seen that. So also prepare for that, Aquarius rising. So we're just gonna be fighting with people, or getting into petty arguments just because we triggered someone for, like, and we were just standing there. Weird. um like, yeah. Also your personal issues, like everything that's personal to you, personal people, prepare for that to change suddenly, especially when Pluto gets closer to the degree that you have your rising in. So for all my girlies that have a 1 degree Aquarius rising, 2 degrees, all up until like maybe 8 degrees, if you have an 8 degrees Aquarius rising, you're probably already feeling this, like it's probably already started for you guys. Even, I'm not even talking about the guys who have a 0 degrees Aquarius rising, because you guys, I'm pretty sure your life has been changing already in the most chaotic, could be fun way though. Could be fun if your first house lord is in the fifth house or ninth house. Could be changing in a fun way, but just expect some chaos, unexpected chaos, because Aquarius is all about unpredictability. So even more now, it's gonna be a lot more crazy, you know. And then what else? Okay, second house. If you have Pluto and Aquarius going into your second house, money changes. Okay, the way that you gain income, that's gonna change as well. Maybe you might quit your job, or maybe you just might find a better path for you, like a better security income or a better income for yourself. Same thing with if you have this in the sixth house, you know. But sixth house may more so about like your job, your diet as well. You might gain an illness, you know, but we'll get there. So second house, also your voice changes. So right now, like especially if you're a singer, take care of your voices, or if you use your voice to get money, or maybe you could totally use your voice to get money. Like do that, or life will take you somehow. Like I pray that, you know, life takes you in a direction where you can use your voice to get money, you know, and build stability for yourself in that way, you know. But also maybe changing homes. You might even change homes or buy a house or something like that, you know. But maybe just learn to be more smart about your money. And you're a Capricorn rising, so I don't doubt that you're wise about how to be disciplined. So maybe right now, like, be even more disciplined about your money. You know, not saying don't have fun, but like, don't be careless, you know. Because I think with Aquarius in the second house, you might spend money suddenly, and then suddenly you have it, suddenly you don't have it. But I'm just saying, like, just be vigilant on your spending habits, you know. And then for people who have this in their third house, your friend group is going to be changing for real. Like, just expect to lose friends right now. You're going to be losing friends, gaining friends. There's gonna come a time when you don't trust having friends, and you want to be a loner and only hang out with people that are acquaintances. You're gonna want to jump to your 11th house, right? With where Libra is at. And I think that's valid for you. Like, that's so valid for you. But having your Pluto in Aquarius in the third house, you know, just watch out for that. Like, you're gonna be losing friends, or you might even, because Pluto's all about transformation in the most dramatic way. So maybe you might even get backstabbed by a friend. Or maybe your friend dies for you. Best case scenario, a friend of yours hangs themselves on the cross just for you, to prove their loyalty to you. That kind of thing, you know. Otherwise, like, yeah, just watch out for your friends. Or maybe you might even be moving. Like, maybe you might be moving from one neighborhood to another. Like, you might change your environment up, or you work in a new environment, you know, depending on what's sitting in your third house. Like, if you have Mercury in the third house, or if you have your moon in the third house, you might move homes, you know. But if it's Mars, and if you have like Mars in Aquarius in the third house, and then Pluto's also transiting there, like, just maybe watch out for what, yeah, it could be, that's the worst case scenario, like your friends backstab you, you know. But if it's Venus in Aquarius in the third house, I think you might just gain some shit from your friends. Like, your friends, you might get new friends that have money, rich friends, or friends who are aesthetically pleasing, friends who put you onto a better way of dressing, or a better way of thinking. You might even come across some friends who are just really sweet, So watch out, but there's going to be a change in your friends, or a change in your environment, or maybe you might even pick up a skill, or maybe you might fuck around, take your skill for granted, and then lose your skill. But just watch out for that, So fourth house, if you have Pluto and Aquarius in the fourth house, what? Family members. Okay, so I also think with this, you might even fight with your family a lot more right now. Maybe your mom now is just on some BS, and you want to get away from her. Or maybe you're just realizing that you don't F with your mom like that. Or maybe you just have some issues with the feminine figures in your life, like your aunties, grandmothers, things like that. Or maybe you also, same with the third house, you also change homes, sudden changes at home. Or maybe it could just be like a death of a family member. Yeah, could be that. Same with the first house. Aquarius risings, right now, I'm not saying you're gonna die, but just expect personal transformation. So if that also leads to you dying physically, then that could be a thing. But it could just be a thing of you're shedding away who you were in terms of your character, your personal character, that kind of thing, But with fourth house, it's just the thing of maybe someone in your family member dies. Yeah, and then there's just changes in your home. You feel different about home. Home doesn't feel as comfortable anymore. Especially Pluto. Pluto is definitely gonna bring some discomfort at home. It's gonna bring some transformations and changes. And home is supposed to be a place where you feel comfortable at, right? So with Pluto, a harsh planet sitting in a planet that needs softness and nurture, it's gonna be really rough right now for you guys. Obviously, it may not be a daily thing unless Mercury, unless you have an Aquarius Mercury as well. It's conjuncting Pluto and Aquarius all in your sixth house. Maybe there may be more fights at home, and then those fights just kind of make you never want to speak to your family ever again. Could be that kind of transformation, or maybe this is happening with your brothers and siblings, so they are the ones fighting with your mom and dad, and then you never see them again, that kind of thing, but just expect that kind of transformation. Yeah. And then what else? So fifth house, right? So having Pluto and Aquarius in your fifth house, I think this is gonna transform the way that you express yourself. I think right now you're gonna be a lot more, you're gonna have fun in chaotic situations. You're gonna feel more entertained by being in chaotic situations, especially in romantic relationships, and if you have children right now, I think children may frustrate you. I'm not gonna lie, you may be frustrated with children right now. I think Pluto in the fifth house have issues with kids, also kids don't like you back, yeah, so just watch out for that if you have Pluto transiting your fifth house right now. Also, I want to say, in terms of your hobbies, I think you may get how do I say this? I think you may overdo your hobbies. You're going to be extreme in the ways that you claim to have fun. So let's say you want to party, you're going to want to do that all the time and exceed it. And then there's going to be something that happens, which is why I say with Pluto, just be careful. Because also Pluto is going to take you through extremes. Ne? So it might not be, sometimes it may not be you choosing to do that. Let's say you're in a friend group also, or you're dating someone, and then they're the ones that want to go ham with everything that they do, and then because you may not have the will to just be nah, I'm good, this is my limit, then they may do something that may fuck with you, or you may be the one doing it to them, but when that happens, when that little situation of transformation happens, it's gonna change the way that you view the way that you have fun. It's gonna change the way that you even have fun. It's gonna change the way you express yourself, because fifth house is all about how you personally express yourself, right, too. So sometimes you may even, right now, it's gonna be a situation where you may express yourself in a very a stealthy, scary way as well, and then people will look at you what the fuck, what, you think this is cool, you think this is funny, and to you maybe so hilarious, and then people look at you weird just because you are amused by something that's off off to them, so expect that, definitely expect that. And then your sixth house, as I said before, your health, changes in your health, transformations in your health, sudden transformations in your health. You may have an illness, you may fuck around, like, I know, because it's Aquarius, I think it could be a situation for you where you're with a group of people, a new group of people, and then they're like, yo, let's go try out this new restaurant, and then you eat that, and then you realize that you were allergic to something, or you got food poisoning, so right now, just be mad careful with what you eat and what you consume. For my Virgo rising, I think it is Virgo risings. Yeah, Virgo risings. Be extra careful with your diet right now. What you consume. Also, just exercise as much as you can. But also, as I say, don't OD, like, don't overdo it, because Pluto will make you want to overdo something. But I feel like monitor yourself. What else? Yeah, I think that's just monitor yourself, because if you exercise too much also, that might fuck with your muscles, and then boom, now you have a swollen muscle or something like that, a muscle spasm, like, shit like that. So just, like, watch yourself. I know it's gonna be hard to do things in moderation, because Pluto is gonna make you like but just, like, watch yourself. Also, for you, changes in your job. I think you might change. I think these few next years, you might want to completely say goodbye to whatever job or work that you were involved in, and then just completely embrace a new job or a new, I don't want to say career, but like a new pace of work. Okay, I just got an email, sorry. Yeah, that's sixth house. And then seventh house for you guys, changes in your relationships. Oh my god, Leo risings, yo guys. Oh my god, I'm actually glad I'm not you right now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad I'm not you guys right now. I'd rather have personal changes than have a relationship change me. And that's what I'm gonna get to, is that changes in your relationships, your interpersonal relationships right now. And I only say that because I have Mars in the seventh house, and I know, like, it can get really toxic. So expect when you get into relationships right now, expect to be in some toxic shit. But at the same time, you might like that, especially if you have Scorpio. If you have Scorpio Mars right now, and you have Scorpio Mars with the Leo rising. Jeez. Just expect that, though. Be open to, I think, whatever relationships you're gonna get into right now are gonna teach you a lot about the power struggles that happen in relationships. And then also, it's gonna teach you how to hold your own in a relationship, and how to not let someone, okay, maybe it'll teach you to be okay with being possessed or being possessive, and also therefore accepting it in other people. Could be that's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, you completely hate being controlled, you completely hate being possessed, you don't want to be in a relationship, you hate relationships, you only want to be in casual things. That happens too. That could happen too for you, but just be open to that, because that is gonna happen for you. It's gonna happen. What else? I think that's about it for you guys. Just relationship issues, partnership issues. If you own a business with someone, just expect them to want more money, because they're gonna feel like they've put in more of their assets in the business. So then it's gonna be a whole thing of like, no, but I deserve 40%. No, you deserve 40% because I work 60%. They'll be like, nah, blah, blah. Just things like that. Secret enemies as well. Just expect some shit with people. It'll probably make you not trust people. It's gonna really fuck with your trust issues even more. But best case scenario, I think you're just gonna learn how to you'll learn discernment and learn how far to keep people, like what layer to keep people in, and then eighth house. So Cancer risings, Pluto's gonna be in your 8th house. So I feel like this is so nice for you guys. I really love this for you guys. I think your sexual appetite is definitely gonna grow a lot more these past 20 years. I think a lot of you will definitely come in contact with some. Also, this will transpire for the 9th house and 12th house. But I think you guys are gonna go through a big emotional revelation, you know, and a huge like metamorphosis. And I think you guys are really gonna learn to own your dark energy. Is this okay? I hope you guys can see. Let me move this a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think you guys are gonna just learn to be more comfortable and own your dark energy a lot more. Like, I think a lot of you guys are gonna learn how to manifest better at this time. I think a lot of you guys are going to also come in contact with other people. Like, I think specifically Aquarius is, you know, I think whenever you come in contact with an Aquarius, they're gonna transform you guys, and then through that transformation, or with that transformation, you guys are gonna learn how to really own your own personal power, you know, but also learning to keep things on the low. But you're Cancer rising, so I already feel like you guys have that on lock. You guys keep things private, you know. Or maybe just keeping your intentions on the low, like knowing how to hold in on your personal power, and only give it to, like, knowing when to be intense, knowing when to give the intensity that a situation needs, knowing when to handle a situation in the correct emotional vibration that, you know, that it needs for you to, like, for example, like, let's say you, how do I say this, like, let's say you are in an argument with someone and you can sense that they're being more disrespectful, they're disrespecting you. So then you will know how to handle that situation in a way that you take your personal power, but you also make it known very subtly that that person doesn't have power over you, not even in the slightest bit. So you're gonna know how to, like, transmute energy, transmute emotions, that kind of thing, you know. But it's gonna happen with probably acquaintances or anyone that is an Aquarius, or maybe air signs. Let me say that for my Cancer risings, you know. Or maybe even just getting into spirituality. Maybe even also, I think with the Pluto transiting your 4th house and 8th house, this would be a great time to even connect with your spirituality, you know, your ancestors and the family lineage that you have, you know, dead people as well. Might even get into contact with that, or maybe just strengthening, like, the relationship that you have with the people that you're emotionally close with, you know. But for 8th house, definitely expect to have a lot more sexual energy, being a lot more horny, and also how you use your sexual energy, that'll also transform you, you know, because if you're gonna, like, fuck around, that's gonna affect you in a way. If you are celibate and you're only giving yourself to one person, that's going to affect you in a way. If you're abstinent, whatever, and you're using that sexual energy, like, for yourself, for creation, that's also going to affect you in a specific way. But right now, sex is going to be a big part. Like, it's going to be something that you're so aware of, but just knowing how to use that and knowing what to do with that, or maybe you don't know, but it's going to affect you some way, you know. So just do what's best for you. I think pray about it, you know, ask Goddess, universe, what you should do with this shit. But just know there's gonna be a transformation in that area of life. Also, with your inheritance, I think you guys might inherit something around this time. Like, maybe inherit a lot of money from, like, a partner. Maybe you might get into a relationship with someone who's stable enough to provide for your needs, your emotional needs, and your sexual needs too, you know. So expect that. Yeah. Okay, and then 9th house, having Pluto transit your 9th house, changes in your belief system. This is definitely changes in your belief system, and also suddenly moving abroad. Yeah, this is going to be a sudden moving abroad, or maybe, like, you suddenly have to go back to school, or you decide to suddenly go back to school to study something, you know, or you suddenly decide to move abroad, especially if you have your 9th house lord in the 4th house, you know, that's gonna happen for you. Or 9th house lord in the 2nd house, you might decide to just buy a house overseas, you know, and suddenly move there. What else? But it's just gonna happen within these next 20 years. Just expect that. But yeah, there's gonna be changes in your belief system, changes in your, maybe you get married to someone. If you have your ninth house lord in the seventh house, maybe you just date someone, you get married, and then you move abroad with them, but just expect to move abroad, like overseas. You live in America, you're gonna live in France, something like that. Or you live in South Africa, you live in Morocco. You lived in Morocco, you go to Australia, something like that. Just expect shit like that. Yeah. Or go to school, like expecting to go. You could also study abroad as well, you know yeah. And then 10th house, Aquarius, for Taurus risings, Aquarius, Pluto moving into your 10th house. So I feel like this is definitely gonna change your your public, like you're gonna be more obsessed over. And I know this, I have a Scorpio 10th house with Pluto on the cusp of the 10th and the 11th. Just expect people starting rumors about you. Expect people to be mad obsessed with you. Expect people to also shit on you, like for no reason. But also expect to change careers. You're gonna have a lot of career changes. You're gonna think you want to start a business, and then you might start it, and then you decide that no, I hate this. I don't like this. I don't like what I'm doing, and then you change. Your public image, your career is all gonna change suddenly. Just expect that. What else should you expect? I think right now you're gonna have a lot of issues with authority figures as well. That's something I know as a Scorpio 10th house person. A lot of issues with your dad also. Yeah, I think you, or just men, or anyone in authority, because you also might have like an Aquarius moon in your 10th house, and then Pluto is here as well, and then and then you just have issues with your mom and like feminine figures, or you become more obsessive, or if Venus is here as well, it's gonna affect like your assets and your resources, because you might have gotten support from feminine figures, but then now they want that from you back, and they want it now and aggressively, or they want to tell you what to do with what you have, and then it just brings frustration with that, but just generally, like you're gonna hate being told what to do. And if you agree to be told what to do, just expect for you to just suddenly quit and be like, I don't want to do this, especially if you're somebody that your whole life people have been making decisions for you, or your whole life you just go with what your family members want for you, and then you don't really think for yourself what you want to do with your own career, that kind of thing. Like these next 20 years, it's going to change your perspective, and you're just going to be like, wait a minute, I actually have always wanted to be whatever, like an engineer, but my parents were like, wow, you should be a doctor. And you'd be like, fuck that, I want to be an engineer, so I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna take my ass to school and do that, because that's what I want with my life. And then from that change, from those transformations, and people know you as that person who was like, oh wow, they were a doctor, now they're an engineer, I wonder what happened. And then people just want to be all up in your business basically, but also people just really want to be around you, like they want to be seen with you. Just know that people are going to want to be seen with you around this time, but also this is going to be a great time for you to just take control over your own image. You're going to be seen as a sexual figure as well, especially if you're going to have the house lord of your 10th house in the 8th house. You might want to consider doing more taboo shit, maybe even being an astrologer. It doesn't have to be like sexual or anything. It could just be like that. And then in the 11th house, what's the time? Okay, in the 11th house, transformations with the groups of friends that you're gonna have. I think right now you're gonna realize like that you've been in groups of friends. Okay, I see this because I also have, like, as I said, Pluto in my 10th and 11th house, and I had gone through the phase where I was in groups of people, like the cool people that I considered super cool, just because I wanted to be around them, because I wanted them to validate me. So you guys might also get into that situation. This is for what? Aries rising. Oh yeah, you guys might also, okay, it may not even just be for validation, it just may be a thing of you want to be around people that are individuals and super unique, or maybe people want to be around you because they think you're, a super individual, you're super unique. They're curious about your life and what you think, your opinions. Or you may be the one curious about other people's opinions. You want other people's, like, you'll just blindly agree to other people's opinions just because you have that much respect for them and you put them on a pedestal. So just watch out for that. But at this time, I think expect to get in and out of groups of people. I think with this, it's Pluto telling you that these associates are only for specific reasons. Don't treat them like family. And this, once again, you have like 11th house Lord in your 4th house, because then that's going to change a whole bunch of things. But once again, discernment. And if you pray for discernment, you're going to get that. I'm a firm believer in prayer, 100%. Excuse me. But just expect, like, for you to jump in and out of groups of friends. But also it could also just be a thing. Okay, wait, no, because if you're older, then maybe not. Maybe you'll just lose the group of friends that you already have, and then they'll isolate you in a way. And also, once again, with you and technology, I think this could also be a time for you to, like, you're probably going to do something really monumental and iconic and, like, invent. It may not, it doesn't have to be scientific. It could just be like you invent a different way of wearing clothes, or you invent like a movie site, or you invent something interesting for the masses to consume. Expect that. But I think right now, if you have a business, this could be a time where you may lose some money and then suddenly gain money, like a lot of money. Or maybe you want to invest into like stocks, or invest into another business, or like you start a business and then you have like a whole bunch of investors, like a group of investors coming to you because they believe in your shit, things like that. Just expect that. What else though? But yeah, just expect, like, whenever you're in a group of friends, whenever you're in a group, really, like, I think you're also going to be a lot more private when you're in groups of friends. You're gonna know, like, not to trust everybody, and also know how to handle different people, without getting your emotions in there, or without like wanting to get validated, unless it's for like a bigger reason. I don't know, like, your life, but all I'm saying is, like, don't get lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't put your eggs in all those baskets. Just know what kind of egg and how many eggs to put in the groups that you are in. That's what I'm saying. And then 12th house, having Pluto transit your 12th. Oh my god. Okay, Pluto has been transiting my 12th house, and for the most part, because 12th house is your unconscious. I didn't feel it. Like, I didn't really feel it. Then again, I have my 12th house Lord in the 4th house. So depending on the house Lord of your 12th house, that's where you'll really feel what's happening. But for me, I didn't really. It's gonna isolate you. Did I have dark dreams? No, I didn't have any nightmares. It could be that for you guys. I'm not gonna lie. You could have nightmares. Okay, let me just say, you're gonna face your fears. You're gonna face your fears. But it's gonna be an unconscious battle, especially if you have this with Lilith. Like, if you have a Lilith in Aquarius as well, just expect to face your fears right now. But it's all gonna be an internal fear facing thing that nobody else is gonna know about. And you're not going to be necessarily comfortable to talk about it either, unless you are, because once again, Aquarius is all about connecting, but at the same time, no. But yeah, as I'm saying, just expect to face your fears right now, and it could be irrational things, but also like experimenting with substances. Yeah, you're gonna be experimenting with some substances, maybe, if you choose to. There's a possibility though. Big possibility. And maybe you experience, like, let's say you take acid or like shrooms or psychedelics, and then there may be a situation, like a trip that changes how you feel about the world, that changes how you feel about yourself inside, for the better or for the worse. You could become more paranoid than usual right now. Actually, I want to say that's something I did experience. Way more paranoia. But I thought that was just my 8th house sun. But no. That's Pluto. Expect some paranoia. Also expect to be scared to share yourself with people, because I think for me as well, like with Pluto transiting in my 12th house, I was just so afraid of being vulnerable with the wrong people, because I had paranoia that they were laughing behind my back and telling their friends about it, and then the whole world knew about it, or like the people around that area knew about it, so it will make you a lot more secretive about what you truly feel, but for the most part, like, it's not going to be as intense as it will be for people who, like, right now, I feel like Pluto being in my first house, I'm really going to feel it, but I'm so ready. I think, I don't know, but I believe I'm ready, but for the 12th house, because it's so, like, internal, it's just an internal thing. It's not going to, like, it's not gonna, because it's in your 12th house, it's not gonna affect the way that you communicate with people. It's not like Pluto is not gonna affect you in terms of, like, if it was in your 3rd house, your 6th, your 7th house, or your 11th house, it's not gonna affect your interactions with humans, with other people, so that's gonna be fine. It's just gonna be it's gonna be a you thing. Like, you're just gonna feel different internally, but you're not gonna know what it is. You're not gonna be able to pinpoint it, and you're gonna have crazy dreams a lot of the times, but some of the dreams that you're gonna have are gonna be mad prophetic as well. Like, you'll dream of something and it'll probably happen 2 months later, which has literally happened to me ever since Pluto has been in my 12th house, which, that's the fun part though, but the paranoid stuff is not that great, I'm not gonna lie. So just expect that. I think Pluto being in the 12th house is better. I think it's better, but yeah, that's that, guys. That's Pluto happening. That's all happening during Taurus season. And then also getting into the not eclipse, so the retrograde, fucking retrograde. It's ending on the 14th of May, right? And it's in Taurus, so reevaluating, and it's all happening during Taurus season, so it's just gonna be reevaluating. Even right now, for me, I've just been meeting people that I used to really admire, and people that I valued. Like, I valued how they dressed, because Taurus is all about Venus. So I've been around people from people that I met way back in 2017, even 2018, 2016, that I was like, wow, like, I admire you so much. Or even just I've been meeting up with old friends too, like, and rekindling old friendships. And this has been in my 4th house, mind you. My lips are ashy. I've been meeting people I've been rekindling my friendships with my old homies, and it's just been so lovely. That's why I say, like, this retrograde has been so good to me. I don't know how it's been for you guys though, but it's been really good to me though. But just, I think we're all just at a place of reevaluating, like, what we used to value, reevaluating our old values, even just remembering how we were, like, in these spaces with these people, like, what has changed. And that's why, okay, I love retrograde period. I love Mercury retrograde. I'm a Virgo Sun, Gemini moon, right? So I'm all mercurial, so I feel retrogrades the most. And a lot of the times, like, before, they're hectic because of the fatigue. Like, I get really tired, or I just have brain fog or whatever. But this retrograde has been, like, so sweet in the sense that, like, I've just been reevaluating, like, how my friendship started and what I valued about those friendships, and what those friends did for me that I valued, like, the value that they brought to me. So I think that's happening to all of us, we're just reevaluating and remembering why we even connected with those people, and even maybe right now deciding that, no, man, I actually want to be friends with you forever. Like, yes, life took us in different directions, but maybe before I thought, okay, whatever, it's done. But now, even though you could be all the way on the other side of the world, like, I still fuck with you. Like, you may be coming into those conclusions. I know I am. Like, I'm like, you know what? Even though I don't see you as often, but we're friends for life now. Like, we are homies. Like, I don't care what. We could be having those things with people, or maybe not even homies. Like, it could just be a thing of, maybe you fought with maybe with some petty argument you had with somebody before, because they didn't help you with something, and then you meet them and they're showing you mad love, or you just decide that, no, man, what I did before was petty. Like, let me just appreciate you and value you right now. It doesn't even have to be because whatever, like you're just reevaluating these people that you used to admire, that you used to appreciate, and being like, you know what, I still value you, I still see that in you, and I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose how I feel about you, and I don't want to lose how you treated me, that kind of I think that's this Mercury retrograde is giving that for me. I don't know how it is for you, but I think it's the same for everybody, really. But I love that for us, I really do. I really like that. And also the Mercury retrograde couped with the eclipse. Eclipse is all about things just happening as they should. Like, don't manifest anything, just let everything happen the way it is. Just sit and just vibe. And I think with the retrograde also, so it's eclipse letting everything happen the way it's supposed to, and then retrograde coming to make us remember things that we used to value, make us remember why we used to value that. So just also bringing back old value systems. I think this Mercury retrograde is bringing back old value systems and reminding us that, hey, even though your value systems are changing because of Uranus, don't forget that you used to value this, and maybe you can implement that person into your daily life again, or implement that specific thing or routine back into your life because it made you feel good. Like, for example, if you used to jog and exercise, bring that back now. Or if you used to, I don't know, used to draw and paint, bring that back now. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Or you used to go to the specific coffee shop with your friends, maybe go visit that again, and maybe just soak up the nostalgia of that, and just really remember what you used to feel like. Maybe if you had a shitty time back then maybe still go do it so you can compare how it is right now and like see how far you've come. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, like, just even giving gratitude. Like, I just remember this whole retrograde feeling really grateful. Like, I've just been feeling mad grateful for everything I've been through, even the hard times. Like, I was just like, wow, Goddess, like, look at you, you've been carrying me, and I'm here now. Like, new shit, new things are happening. I think we can all physically feel our lives changing, and yes, it's scary, but I think we can all physically feel it, like, even externally, and it could be scary as well. Yes, it could be exciting too, and I wanna believe that it's good things happening. Yes, it's gonna be bad, but I feel like the bad is just there to balance the good, because I feel like the universe is really just about giving us good things, but it has to balance it with some bad things as well, because we need that yin and yang situation. Yeah, that's just me being optimistic. But yeah, guys, I think Taurus season so far, what's the time? Taurus season so far has been really yummy. Let's actually break down the sun in Taurus in your houses, right? Also Mercury is in Taurus right now. The moon is in Virgo. Oh my god. And then we have a Venus in Gemini. So today the moon is squaring Venus, but it's all Mercury vibes. So I think that, when the moon squares Venus, it's always a hectic time with loving and appreciating our emotions, and also feeling nurtured by the things that we love and appreciate. There's like friction between that, but anyway, we're not talking about that. It's not a current vibes. I'm just gonna read the sun in Taurus through your houses. So the sun is all about what you illuminate, what you are paying attention to, and what you're acting according by. So right now we're all acting, our actions and what we're paying attention to is all Taurus things, right? And it's also going to be conjuncting Uranus. So paying attention to the shifts in our stability, our routines, what we feel comfortable in, feeling a change also in our aesthetics, and also what we deem as valuable. You might deem other things valuable now. Like, okay, for me, using myself as an example, I've had crystals for a minute, right, that I bought way back in like 2015 that I did not use at all. They've just been sitting in my home in a glass jar that I put rice in, right? Because the lady at a crystal shop near my home told me that, like, if you don't want to, if you're feeling disconnected from your crystals, then you can just either put them, like, throw them away in your garden, not throw them away, but just put them in your garden. Because I was really about to like put them in the dustbin, but then she was like, don't do that, like just put them in your garden and put them by nature or give them to the ocean. But obviously I'm in Johannesburg, there's no ocean here. We just have dams and rivers and stuff. So mind you, I hadn't used crystals in like over 3-4 years until 420, like until the first day of Taurus season, right? I decided I'm gonna go get crystals, and that was the day before retrograde, but the day of the eclipse, and also mind you, changes in your value systems. So I decided I'm gonna go get some crystals, and I did. And they've been doing amazing things for me, yo. Like, yes, they've been bringing up some like pent up things, but they've been really helping me, and I'm using them now, like when I do specific things, when I go out, when I'm sleeping, etc., etc., and I value them now, but I'm paying attention to that. So for you guys, it could be completely different. You could also, like, obviously your life, so you can imagine what in your life that you have. And mind you, my crystals are tangible things, so I have them and they are bringing me value. So for you guys, you think about that in your life, but just because it's Taurus season, you're going to be paying attention to that. So if you have Taurus sun transiting your first house, you're going to be paying attention to your self value, paying attention to yourself, and just remembering the things that you value about yourself, and remembering the things that you treasure about yourself, remembering what brought you personal self-esteem, period. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe even changing, switching up things, like finding new things that you like about yourself, finding new value systems for yourself, but just paying attention to yourself, really. That's sun in the first house, sun transiting your first house. You're just paying attention to yourself and paying attention to your own energy, really, and how you affect other people, or maybe how other people affect you, and the things that you want to personally be involved with. That's really the vibe. And then having this in your second house, you're just going to be paying attention to your income as well, paying attention to your self-esteem, paying attention to your resources, what you have, and what's changed, because Uranus is there. What has changed that you have? What about what you have has changed? Let's say you own a house. What about your house has changed? Have you bought new couches and shit? Have you bought a new mattress or something? Things like that. You'll be paying attention to things like that. Third house, paying attention to your friends and finding value and remembering why you value your homies so much, because your homies are so lit and you love them so fucking much. Paying attention to how your friends bring value in your life, and how you bring value to other people's lives, as well, to your friends' life, I mean. Also your skills. You might even like pay attention to the skills you have, because I know the Taurus third house, as a Pisces rising, you guys, like, once you develop a skill from a young age, you usually just stick with it. But just seeing how far you've come, and I know you're probably a really good painter or artist, just seeing, like, even just go back to when you first started painting, or you first started doing accounting. I don't know what you guys do, right? What I'm just assuming you do accounting, but just going back to the first time you were doing what you were doing, and just like really valuing yourself and appreciating yourself for coming this far, and just like appreciate the time and the effort you've put into whatever skill you've developed that's helping you in your life now, period. Damn, I'm like such a big advocate for reminiscing and just like appreciating yourself for how far you've come. But yeah, that's that, guys. And then what else? Fourth house, having the sun transiting your fourth house, paying attention to your home. Like, you're gonna be, I feel like right now you're gonna be, maybe you're gonna want to stay at home more, or you're just gonna want to have, if you're gonna go out, you're gonna want to have the support of people that you consider like family or friends. Or if you're gonna go out alone, it's just gonna be a thing of bringing some, like for me, like, because now my crystals are in my home, so I'm gonna take them, and they're gonna be a reminder of my comfortability and my nurturing, nurturing. Yeah, that's that though. But just paying attention to your family members, even paying attention to your emotions. But I find that for me, like, whenever like anything is in Taurus, because Taurus is my fourth house, especially when it's Venus, not so much Mars. When Venus or Mercury or the moon, even the sun sometimes, yeah, I'm gonna add the sun, when they're in my fourth house, I just become so proud of where I come from. where I come from. Like, I just become so proud to be South African, you know. So I think for you guys too, like Aquarius rising, like right now is just a really great time to pay attention to your home, because it doesn't have to just be like where you live, like the house. It could also just be like your heritage and your culture, just really valuing that, you know. But right now, just being aware of it, you know, and being aware of the value systems that were taught to you as a child as you were growing up, you know. Paying, and just because I know Taurus in the fourth house, like our stability, like we usually come from a family that is wealthy, or if they're not wealthy, then they're stable, like they're okay. They don't have to be rich, but they can just be okay, you know what I'm saying? Or they are rich, or they have a lot of resources, and resources can be money. But just appreciating that, you know, because technically having a Taurus fourth house is like having a Taurus moon, meaning that which is an exaltation, meaning that like, and I can feel that also with myself, because I feel like I have the comfort I've always, like, since I was a child. The only thing that's if about my shit though is that I have Saturn in the fourth house as well, but because Taurus is there, it brought stability. At least there's stability though, you know, even though there's no like emotional nurturing, there's still stability. So food, clothes, really warm clothes, food. You know what I'm saying? Like this like cool shit that happens at home, really comfortable things, but just appreciating that, you know. And also because now Mercury is retrograding there, just also like reevaluating that, like reevaluating all the fun things and the sweet, beautiful, nostalgic things that you used to do at home, or just appreciating the nostalgia of home, of your childhood, you know, paying attention to that. And then fifth house, you're going to be paying attention to your forms of fun, forms of entertainment, forms even dating right now. If you're in a relationship, I think right now you're going to want to do super fun things with your partner. So I think go on romantic dates, go on a picnic, especially now during Taurus season. Go to a botanical gardens, go have a picnic, you know, take shrooms, and go look at the beautiful trees and stuff. I'm like advising you, not advising you, but I'm suggesting that's a really cute. Just take one little small gram of shrooms and go to a picnic and have fruit and just enjoy nature, you know, with your partner. And then come back home and then listen to the OJs, or like Ashanti, or old hip hop, or old R&B, or like soul, Erica Badu, you know what I'm saying, or soft trap, I don't know, something very gentle, and just vibe, bro. Like take a shower. Oh my god, I'm actually gonna do those things. That's a great day. I don't know for you, but I feel like, especially if you have like a Taurus Venus or a Taurus Moon in your fifth house right now, like that, I already know that's an amazing date idea. I wouldn't do it solo though. I wouldn't want to take psychedelics at a park alone though. Maybe like at home, in my garden, you know, for sure. But maybe do that, you know, or something soft, like just go on a picnic, go to a new restaurant. Maybe go to a new restaurant, but read the reviews to see how the food is, you know. But just go on a fun date with your partner, or go to a museum, or just buy new music. Like go to a record shop and buy new music with your partner, you know. You can do it by yourself if you're single right now, but just like do something that will benefit you sensually with your taste buds, your senses. Buy new clothes, buy some soft blankets, I don't know, go shopping for new blankets or new soft pillows, or like cute fairy lights, or new plants, or like a new mat, or go get new perfumes or something. You know like just spoil yourself. Anyway, moving on to the sixth house, having this Taurus sun in your sixth house for Sag risings. Yeah, Sag risings. So for you guys, I think you're going to be paying attention to your health a lot more, or just paying attention to how much you eat. I think every year when the sun is in Taurus around this time, I think you guys pay attention to how much you consume, you know, your work. But I think because you have Taurus in your sixth house, because Taurus is slow moving, I think you guys usually stick to whatever job you get. Yeah, it's just like if you If you work at a restaurant, you work there for a long time before you decide to quit. And because Uranus is here, maybe you've been thinking of quitting as well. I don't know, but I also think maybe there could be like little changes in your job. Maybe there could be like a little change in your schedule and routine, you know, or maybe you adapt like a better skincare around this time, or you want to. Maybe you're thinking of it. Maybe you're just aware of your skin right now and you're planning on changing your skincare routine, or you already have, you know, and you're just paying attention to the benefits of what's been happening. You're paying attention to the changes that have been happening due to your new skincare routine, something like that, but something in your schedule, you know. Maybe you also bought a car, so now you're paying attention to how it's helping you in your daily routines. Or maybe you don't have a car and you're paying attention to how much it's affecting your daily routines, you know. But something in your daily routines, that's definitely what you're aware of, you know. Seventh house, paying attention to your relationships. Okay, this is for what? Scorpio rising. I think right now you're just paying attention to your relationships. Maybe paying attention to how far you and your relationships, you and your partner have gone. How far you and the person you're working with, how far your business has gone, or what's been changing, or how much you've lost, how much you've gained, how many assets you guys can share with each other, what's happening, you know, just paying attention to that, relationships that you have, really. And also just maybe paying attention to how you relate to people, how you relate to other people. Yeah. And then eighth house. Okay, eighth house for Libra risings. I feel like you guys are paying attention to your sexuality for sure. I think, you know, anytime like any planet, especially Mars and the Sun and even Venus are in your are in Aries or Scorpio, first of all, or are in your eighth house, even 12th house, or whatever house, depending on that house lord. If that house lord is in that eighth house, it's just gonna really awaken your sexual energy, and you're gonna want to like do it, you know. You're gonna want your genitalia touched a lot more often. I've just noticed that, you know. Yeah, that's that. But also just paying attention to how you secretly feel about things. That's really what it is. Just paying attention to everything you secretly feel or privately feel. Like paying attention to your private life, your private emotions. Paying attention to how you can, paying attention to everything that you have, that you are shared, like paying attention to the shared assets you have, like amongst you and your partner, or you and a business partner. Paying attention to how you guys are relating, how you guys are distributing money amongst each other, you know, or your assets or resources amongst each other. Yeah. And then ninth house, paying attention to your spirituality. I think right now, like I always love when the Sun transits my ninth house, because I literally have the most fun there. And I have a Libra ninth house. Damn. So every single year during Libra season, it's the most fun for me. So I think for you guys as well, you just experience super fun things. Wait, these cars, you know, living by a highway is not that ayoba, I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, paying attention to you. I think right now you're gonna be traveling a lot, you know. It may not even be overseas. You just may like be with a group of friends and you like go to different parties. Like I know for me, every Libra season, because it's in my ninth house, I party the most and I have the most fun. And usually something always happens, like something, like for example, I would go to a party and I would meet someone, and then they would be like, oh hey dude, do you want to come with me to this place because I'm doing this and this. And when we go, like if I agree to go, it's literally so much fun. And it's happened like for not even 3 years straight, because before I was in school, you know, I mean I'm still in school now, but I mean I was in high school, so that was 4 years ago actually. No, was it 5? Oh my god, damn. Yes. But yeah, obviously when I was in high school I couldn't go and party because I was under my parents' supervision. But ever since I left, like let's say since 2019, when I was in my first year before I dropped out. No, because okay, I dropped out like in September, which was Virgo season. Was it August actually? Yeah, I don't remember, but I just remember 2019 Libra season. Every year when it was in my ninth house, the most fun, so much fun. And that's 2019 was the first time I tripped acid. Actually, was it Libra season though? Okay, I don't know, but I know Libra season fun was had. I had fun. So for you guys, Taurus people as well, you guys, this time for you right now is super fun, super cool things are happening for you, you know. And you could also maybe be opening yourself up to just exploring. You don't even have to travel. You could just decide to go to a museum you've been planning to go to, or a park, or I don't know, whatever, an arcade, or but you're definitely gonna have a lot of fun right now, you know. And if not that, just like getting more into your spirituality, because I feel like going, you know, cultivating a spiritual practice can be fun if you make it that way, but it could also just be so inspiring as well, you know. Because I know, like, when I pray and like when I connect with Goddess, like, it's just so like it just floods you with so many good feelings. What's the time? Okay, it just floods you with so many good feelings, and it feels good, you know. So right now I think you guys are going through that for sure. And then yeah, moving on, 10th house, having Taurus, Sun and Taurus in your 10th house for Leo risings. I feel like for you guys, you're paying attention to your career and how you can do better. Like, what can you do better in your life that can, I don't know, like, that can sustain your goals even more. I think right now you may be also appreciating how far you've come in terms of what you've been building. I know okay, I'm close to one Leo rising who's a Taurus sun, right? So she has her sun in the 10th house, and she's always working. So I feel like for her, I don't really know, I'm gonna text her after this and just be like, how you been so far? But she's working now, and like, we were in the same grade and stuff, and oh my god, I love her so much, I miss her. But she's working now, and I never get to see her because she's working. But I feel like for now, for you guys, I think you guys are just appreciating the stability that your career has brought you in your life, and you appreciate the appreciation that you've been getting from other people as well, you know. Could be that kind of thing for you guys. But also just paying attention to work. I think right now you maybe you even want to work some more. Maybe you want to get some more money, so you want to work some more, you know, because you love getting that, because you love what it does for you, you know. Love that for you guys though. And then having Sun in the 11th house, Taurus in the 11th house, for Cancer risings, I feel like for you guys, you're paying attention to your acquaintances and also the gains, because 11th house is all about the gains that you get from people, from the groups, the associates that you have, you know. So think of, like, if you're famous and you have a concert, it's just a whole bunch of strangers giving you money. That's 11th house kind of thing. But it doesn't have to just be fame, like, because also when you sell a product, a bunch of consumers, 11th house also rules over consumers, you know. So how consumers benefit you. So that's why when you hear astrologers say 11th house is about gains, it's because of that. You're gaining money from people, you know, from a mass of people. So right now you could also be thinking about how you can cultivate better products or make your products more aesthetically pleasing, because, you know, like, we all know consumerism, right? If you sell a product that looks nice, chances are it's going to be bought just because it looks nice, you know. Humans are visual creatures, so just take that into consideration right now. Just remember that, like, whatever product, even if it's a movie or it's a video or it's actual, like, you're selling pillows, you're selling phone covers, you're selling glasses, mugs, just know, like, to get gains from the masses, like, you have to sell your product nicely, you know. Be wise about how you sell your products. But you could also just be paying attention to your acquaintances now. Maybe just valuing your acquaintances and just value, because I feel like as a Cancer rising, you have Taurus in your 11th house, so you just naturally attract acquaintances or strangers that are really nice. I'm so jealous of you for that reason. I have Pluto in the 11th, so it can be a bit hectic for me. But I feel like for you guys, like, you just really attract people who are kind, and like you guys are the type of people, if you are stranded somewhere, somebody would be so ready to Uber you somewhere, without hesitation. Like somebody would be so ready, like let's say you even lost money, or let's say you drop your phone or something, somebody would be so ready to be like, oh wait, I have a spare phone I can sell to you. And it just always works out for you, just because the strangers that you attract, or the acquaintances, or even groups of friends that you attract, like, are so helpful. And that's also because Taurus is your Venus. So yeah, guys, good for you. Damn, I think you're gonna be paying attention to that though, like just paying attention to how that has affected you in your life. How acquaintances and strangers have really like affected you and helped you in your life as well. And yeah, and then last but not least, 12th house, having Taurus out in your 12th house. I feel like for you guys, you're gonna be paying attention to, I think right now is the time for you to rest. I think just like really pay attention to, because the opposite of the 12th is the 6th. So just pay attention to how your daily routines have affected your emotional body. So right now, just as I say, pay attention to your emotional body. Actually, pay attention to how you've been feeling. Like really just release, like allow yourself to feel all these suppressed emotions, because 12th house is all about things that we suppress, that we only deal with in our dreams. So right now you could be daydreaming a lot more, daydreaming about being comfortable. Probably want to daydream about being in the ocean, next to the ocean, by the ocean, in the ocean, in your bed, in the comfort of your home, so that you can feel that, if you're at work especially. But just paying attention to, I think right now for you guys, you're going to be paying attention to your emotional needs as well, and daydreaming a lot more than usual, for sure. And paying attention to your imagination. Yes, your isolate. Oh, I just want to say, pay attention to your dreams right now, because I know when the sun is also transiting my 12th house, that's when I have the craziest dreams. And also it's a Mercury retrograde, and I know Mercury retrograde brings the craziest dreams. Sometimes they don't make sense, sometimes they do make sense, but just pay attention to them. Have a little dream journal, especially because Mercury is also in Taurus. So just write your dreams, whatever happens. Even if it doesn't make sense right now, it'll probably make sense the next time, like in 2 years time. It could even be in 2 years time that dream makes sense, but just write it down. That's the advice I'm giving to you guys. And then yeah, guys, other than that, I just wanted to make this cute video, this cute short happy Taurus season video for you guys, and for me as well, just to know what the fuck is happening right now. As far as before I end this video, I think the 14th. Wait, when is retrograde? Retrograde is gonna end. No. Oh wait, forgot I'm using my phone. Okay, but I think it's the 16th of May. Jupiter is gonna go into Taurus. So all my Taurus sun signs, y'all are so blessed right now. All my earth signs, which is me included, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgos, even the water signs except maybe Scorpio, because the sun is gonna be opposing you. Also, Scorpio moons, Jupiter is going to be opposing that shit. So, fluctuations with your moon. I don't know. But let me just say, for all the earth signs and Pisces and Cancers, with Jupiter moving into Taurus, right now, for the next year, well, over a year-ish, but really a year, because Jupiter stays in the sign for a year, just expect some fun shit. Like, it's going to be really nice. We're going to be blessed with nice opportunities. And because it's Earth, it's probably going to be opportunities to gain resources, because really Earth signs are all about what do we have that can help us live a better life. So maybe even all of us getting ideas on how to accumulate money. And also because it's Taurus, maybe getting better ideas on how to manage our money or manage our resources, or accumulate more of that, really, But if you have a Jupiter in Taurus, wait a minute. Okay, so most of my friends are having like a Jupiter return. All my 1999 friends and also 2000 friends, up until like what? Because I was born with is my Jupiter? No, my Jupiter's not retrograde. I have a Jupiter in Gemini. Nah. But my friends who are Tauruses have a Jupiter in Taurus. So right now they're having their like little Jupiter return as well. Oh, that's nice. And I know Jupiter returns, oh my god, guys, you know Jupiter returns are so nice. But like depending on the house that it's in, you're just gonna gain more experiences with that. Like if you have, for example, if the Jupiter is gonna transit like your second house, you're gonna accumulate a lot of money. If it's in your third house, your friends are gonna help you accumulate money or resources, because you know it is still Taurus, and Taurus is all about resources. So maybe it's not even money. Maybe they give you a job or something. Period. You know, if it's in your fifth house, you're probably gonna like do more music or make new cool things and have more fun. I can't wait for mine because I have Jupiter in the fifth house, and I know I'm gonna have so much fun during my Jupiter return. Oh my god. Oh, amaze balls. But yeah, guys, it's gonna be fun. I think Jupiter and Taurus is gonna bring for all of us, even if it's a little bit, just a lot more. Maybe you might buy, I think maybe you might even go shopping. I think Jupiter and Taurus, that time would be a great time to buy a house, you know, shop for some clothes that'll last forever, or buy a phone or like a car, or like maybe someone will buy you those things, or maybe like you'll win it or something. Like some luck will happen for you guys. But I think more so for the earth signs, and then secondly will be the water signs, you know. But earth signs, okay, Taurus is number one, and then the other two earth signs, Virgo and Capricorn, and then Pisces and Cancer last, you know. And then for all the air and fire signs, I mean, you know, just soak up the last bit of this Jupiter in Aries, because I know it's been fun for you guys. Let me just say you guys, because I'm like an air dominant, so it's been cool for me as well, but only in like finding my individuality when I'm with friends, or just attracting friends that have similar interests as I do personally, you know. I think that's the whole thing with the Aries thing, like the Aries Jupiter thing. But for the most part, I think just all of us should expect to feel more calm, a little bit more calm. But then Jupiter is gonna conjunct Uranus, so I think maybe it'll be sudden or unpredictable spurs of luck, you know. Maybe you might find money on the floor, which by the way I have not experienced since I was a child. So I'm manifesting to find, I'm probably just gonna find money. I'm gonna find a 200 rand note on the floor randomly, and because Taurus is going to be my fourth house, it's probably going to be around my home. I'm going to be driving around. I'm going to stop at the park. I'm going to look down, and I'm going to find like a 200 rand note. And that'll be me experiencing Jupiter in Taurus conjuncting Uranus, period. And I'm manifesting that for everybody. Okay, not everybody, because not everybody can experience that. But for me. but for me, though. Wait, what's the time? Yeah, let me end this video here. Ooh, shit. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in my next video. I don't know what it's gonna be though. I don't even know what I'm doing with these videos anymore. I just want to post more on YouTube, you know, which is what I'm doing. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or evening, and remember to drink your water. And hug your mom, or hug your dad, or your brother, or whoever you really love, you know, your best friend, and tell them that you value them. And pray. Remember to pray to Goddess, God, universe, and be like, thank you so much for my life. Because really, life is a blessing. And so is food. At least right now, it feels that way. Anyway, bye guys.